into it, you know? But hey, you seemed like you were enjoying it too. So why don't I fill you in on a part of music's amazing story? Let me see. How do I describe 3 days of peace, love, and music? Oh, I know the perfect word. Woodstock. The 60s time era was trippy and carefree, a time when minds were open, love was free, and drugs were all but legal. Music gave people a reason worth living. A musical and peace-loving society began to form in the 60s. They were known as the hippies. Hippies helped break the mold of the usual classic music and turn it into something legendary. Classic was a word often used to describe music, but classic rock and roll was a term foreign to most people, not to mention socially rejected by most who had heard of it. But select few and the hippies yearned for this music. It was the only form that could level up to their passion. What does this have to do with Woodstock? Well, you don't want me to spoil the ending before you know all the details, right? I thought not. So in 1969, it was time for rock and roll to dominate. The opportunity came when 4 businessmen, Michael Lang, John Roberts, Joel Rosenman, and Artie Kornfeld, began planning and promoting a recording studio in a town called Woodstock, New York. The idea skyrocketed into an outdoor music festival. Originally, the festival was designed for businessmen, such as recorders and promoters. The original plans of Woodstock backfired when it was clear that the 4 entrepreneurs' ideas differed greatly. Although their chaotic planning skills would help them plan one of the greatest events in musical history. But things weren't that easy. Many problems followed the planning process of Woodstock, such as finding the perfect site to execute this entire festival. This was a stressful struggle until luck stepped in, when a 600-acre farm was purchased in Bethel, New York from a generous man who leased the land to the 4 businessmen at a cheap price. When it all seemed like easy sailing, the man hit another bump. The plans to have a profit-making venue fell flat when it was clear that the 200,000 prepared and printed tickets wouldn't make the cut. When over 500,000 people had already shown up, Michael Lang ordered that the gates providing a perimeter around Woodstock's site be taken down. This was how Woodstock became a free concert. So of course, news of this spread like a forest fire, and soon thousands of cars were backed up 10 miles down the road. Can you believe that Woodstock had gone nothing as planned, but still over 500,000 music lovers showed up, and over 30 of the greatest rock and roll performers came to play? After the rush of people created a mass in the field, Woodstock's first day began on August 15, 1969 at exactly 5:07 p.m. with songs by Richie Havens. The days went by, songs sang, peace promoted, friends made, and babies born. But not everything at this peaceful concert could be defined as peaceful, when 2 fatalities were recorded. The days passed with songs and speeches, and most of the nights passed the same way. But when there was time for sleep, it was in an odd fashion. Anywhere you were comfortable, you could crash. People slept in tents, cars, and anywhere under the stars. Through the course of those 3 days, bands like The Who, The Band, and 10 Years After played, and singers like Janis Joplin, Neil Young, and many more sang. Another famous band was invited to attend Woodstock. Unfortunately, the Beatles turned down this offer, assuming that the festival would fall apart. If only they knew the mark it made on history. Finally, on the 3rd and final day of Woodstock, Jimi Hendrix wrapped up his performance with his version of the national anthem. Everyone cheered, cried, and crashed to sleep. The next morning came and everybody slowly packed up their stuff, and soon thousands of cars were back on the road. Cleaning up was a job to fear. 3 days of 500,000 fun-loving people on 600 acres left cleanup crews with their hands full. Finally, everything was restored to its original state. Everyone had gone home. Woodstock had a bittersweet ending. And to ensure that the memories would never die, a plaque was in place at the entrance of the site that hosted Woodstock. But the memories never will die. Even when generations to come begin to take the music that they now enjoy for granted, Woodstock will always have a place in our hearts and a place in history. The music of the past will be based on the music of the music of the future will be based on the music of the past. Thanks to Woodstock, rock and roll's legacy will live on. Peace out.